What up, YouTube? G4Liddy here once again, and today's video is going to be way different than what I normally do. This video topic is going to be like super serious. What prompted me to make this video was another one of my friends who is also a YouTuber. He go by the name of On the Ocean 007. He's one of the homies I went to high school with. He talked about his struggles with depression and things to that nature. He told his story. So it definitely made me want to tell my story, because I also went through my struggles with depression. Growing up as a kid, I wasn't really depressed growing up as a kid. As a kid, I was pretty okay. Things ain't get bad until my teenage years. So I just basically want to tell you guys my story, what happened to me, and what happened to me. So let's get started. It basically started when I was 13. When I was 13, I was just starting out in 8th grade. And at this time, I had just started at a new school and thing. I had just started in a new school called Melvindale and all of this shit. First year there and shit. The school wasn't that bad and shit, but I just really wasn't interested in the girls that went there, because I don't know, I just really wasn't. So I went there to that school, but I looked at other girls I looked for girls at different schools and shit. And I came across this girl named Dien. She was this Vietnamese chick I met. She just so happened to be 18, a senior in high school when me and her met. And she was like by far one of the most beautiful girls I have ever laid eyes on. Like immediately when I seen her, it felt like love at first sight type of shit. But it was hard, it was difficult, because like I said, I was just in 8th grade, she was in high school, and not to mention we went to different schools and shit, so it was definitely strenuous. But that type of girl, I didn't mind me and her not being together. I was just cool with us being friends. Of course I wanted more, of course, but she just wanted to be friends. She had this boyfriend and shit. But this dude was like one of them asshole type of guys, where he played like he got all these other girls he always lied to her, and the shit he lied about was stupid shit that didn't even need to be lied about. He was one of them people that lied about the weather or lied about what kind of shoes he had on. He lied for the sake of lying. I don't know why, and that was the kind of guy she was with, and I just sat back and watched how he treated her. He treated her like shit, and she just took it. And every time he would do something fucked up to her, she would run to me and tell me about it, and me and her grew closer because of that, because I was that shoulder for her to cry on. I was that friend that she needed, and I was content being that guy for her to cry on my shoulder. I was content being that guy, and this went on for a long time, up until I would say about November. Then she got wise to it and just realized this dude would never change, and finally she broke up with him, and I was beyond happy. When she broke up with that asshole, I was so happy. Like, I thought like it was the beginning of a new chapter for her and shit. And after they broke up, that's when her sights got focused more on me, That's when me and her started talking even more. That's when we was like talking nonstop, and it all day, all night type of shit. That's when shit was, I felt like, okay, you know what? This girl is so much out of my league, but I'm thinking I may have a chance right now, because there's no way you could talk to somebody this much, and the shit she was telling me, I honestly believe, I got a shot with her, So after me and her got closer and closer and shit, finally around after Christmas, I would say it was after Christmas a little bit, she asked me out, which was the most weird thing ever, because usually the type of chicks I attracted wasn't good looking chicks like that. You know, I attracted like the hood rat chicks, the Detroit hood rat chicks. I don't know why, but I always attracted that type. So when she asked me out, you know, I was beyond ecstatic. I was elated. I had never been that happy before, you know. She said I was one of the nicest guys she ever met. She said she could rely on me. She said she wanted to give nice guys a try. I was down for it, you know. Believe me, I was down for it, you know. And after a while, we started dating and everything, you know. Happiest I have ever been in my life. You know, she was like the dopest girlfriend ever. The type of girl that she liked the type of shit you like, you know. In anime, she was into that shit. Video games, she was into that shit. She was into everything I was into, you know. And it was just like the perfect relationship, you know. You just couldn't get any better, you know. But as time progressed, you know, I started realizing something was different. You know, after months had passed by, you know, I was still beyond happy, but she was changing, you know. Like, that's when we started hanging out less. That's when the phone calls became less. The text messages became less. I was like, you know, I was confused as to what was going on, you know. But I'm not naive. I was like, okay, I'm starting to realize what's going on. So I did a little research, you know, and asked around to a couple people. And a lot of people just told me, bro, just go check her MySpace. You will find out what you need to know. I'm like, go check her MySpace, you know. And I was like, okay. You know, back then, I wasn't about MySpace. I didn't give a fuck about the computer and all of that. But I finally checked it out, and lo and behold, she had another boyfriend, you know. She was dating, she was supposed to be faithful to me, you know, but she had this other dude that she was saying she was with him, you know. And it was weird because she had two websites. She had this thing called an Xanga. I'm not sure you guys know what that is, but she had this thing called an Xanga where she had shit all about me and her, you know, where me and her was together, you know. And then on her MySpace, it was all about him and her, you know. And finding that shit out, you know, I was beyond devastated, you know. Like, I felt so low, you know. Like, at that younger age, I thought I was in love, you know. At the time, I honestly thought, yo, I'm in love with this chick. I'm infatuated with this chick. I want to spend my life with this chick. You know, she's perfect. That's how I felt up until that moment. And when I found out what she did, I didn't know how to react to it. I was like, no, not my yin, you know, not my girl. She wouldn't do that, you know. And finally I called her up and told her about it, talked to her about it, and she said, yeah, it's true, you know. And I remember that day so thoroughly. I didn't know what to do. And I got to that point where I was so desperate and I was so sad that I even threw my pride away. I got on some real pathetic type of shit where I said, I don't care if you cheat on me, just stay with me. Whatever you do, I don't care how you treat me, I don't care what you do, just don't leave. You know, because I always had a problem with people leaving me and shit. So I begged her not to go. And she said, okay. She said she wouldn't go. But as time progressed, you know, I realized it just wasn't working. I didn't want to, I'm monogamous. I don't like all of this I don't like these other people being around. So eventually I just told her about it, that I didn't like it. And could she just pick me? Could she just be with me? And eventually she said no, she couldn't do it. And she picked him. And at that point right there, when she broke up with me for him, you know, I felt like my world had basically come to an end. You know, I felt like I didn't really have no will to go on. You know, at this time, all that time had passed. I was already in high school by this time, and she was already in college. That's where she met him. She met him in college. And I guess she had more in common with him because she was in college. Them two was in college, and who wants to be the girl that's dating the high school guy, you know? So I understood, but at the same time, it didn't make it feel any less better. It still hurt. I was still devastated over that shit. You know, it put me in that mood where I just didn't want to live anymore. I got to that point where I said, life ain't worth living if I don't have the love of my life. Because back then I thought I was legitimately in love. I didn't feel anything else towards these other females. Other females seemed like nothing. I was infatuated with just her. And I tried to live without her. I tried to just go on. I tried to just focus on school, focus on friends, but nothing was working. I was thoroughly depressed. It was like full-blown depressed, where most of your thoughts are consumed by suicide. Like, I just really want to end it. There's no point to all of this. I'll never be happy again. I'm tired of feeling worthless. I will never find love again. I had all of these stupid thoughts in my mind that, I'd never be happy again. So I just got to that point where I'm going to commit suicide tonight. It was about February 2007. I was done with it. It had been like almost a year since me and Yin broke up. And she was still with Rashid and shit. The guy she was with, the guy she left me for, she was still with him, and I was just over it. Like I said, in February 2007, I had came up with the idea that I'm going to kill myself. I'm not doing this no more. I'm not living anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And what I wanted to do was, after being depressed for a whole year, I didn't want to just go out and not tell anybody. I didn't want to be the type that kill myself and people just find out about it. And I wanted to personally tell people how I was going to miss them. I loved them. I wanted to tell all my loved ones, all my friends, and I wanted to tell everybody. I didn't want to tell them specifically that I was going to kill myself, but I wanted to let all of them know how important they was to me. So I went through my contact list one by one to call everyone and tell them how much I cared about them. Everybody knew something weird was going on, because I'm not that touchy-feely kind of guy. I don't tell people how I feel and shit. So they knew something was weird when I was saying, I love you. Thank you for being there for me. I appreciate it. I called everybody I could think of. I called everybody. And the last contact I had got to, during this whole depression state, which lasted a year, it was my last person I got to was this girl named China. This girl named China was a girl I had dated before Yin. I had dated China off and on for a good couple of years. Me and her had a lot of history, and I made sure, me and her wasn't that close at the time. She had a boyfriend and shit, and me and her was kind of friends, kind of not, but I still wanted to tell her how much I appreciated her, so I called her up, told her how I felt, and immediately before I could hang up, she stopped me. She said, "What's going on?" And I was so reluctant to tell her, because that I didn't think nobody would understand. Like, this girl took my heart and she left. I feel nothing now. It just hurts. I felt like I was in a cloud of depression that I couldn't escape from, and I needed somebody to tell it to, because I had kept that inside for so long. Nobody knew I was depressed. I had kept it inside so long, So finally, since she was the last person, I just broke down and told her everything. I poured my heart out, telling her how I felt about Yin, how I felt about life, how me and her had all these plans to get married. We had all these plans to do this and that, and how it was all gone. It was hopeless. And China just listened to me, and she said, "I can't leave." I was like, "Why can't I kill myself?" And she said, "You just can't." And I was like, "Why not?" And then she just got quiet on the phone. She just said, "You can't leave me." She just said it underneath her breath. I was like, "What?" Then she said it loud. She's like, "You can't leave me." I'm like, "Leave you? You broke up with me a long time ago." And she just said, "That don't mean I don't love you." And I was like, "Whoa, you love me?" It was like, because at the time, me and her wasn't that close. And she said she loved me and shit. But I was still in that cloud of depression that I still just wasn't hearing it. I wasn't hearing what she was saying. When she was telling me shit was going to get better, I should just wait. I still did not hear it. I was still in that cloud of depression. And I told her I was going to do it. I was sorry. And that thank you for being there for me. And then out of nowhere, she broke down and cried. I mean, not normal cry. She broke down and cried, like bawling her eyes out, crying hardcore. Like, I had never heard somebody cry before. And I literally just dropped everything. You know, I just dropped everything and listened. I just listened to her cry, saying I can't leave her. And that alone, that action of her crying for me, like literally woke something up for me. You know, I like had been walking around in the days of depression, thinking that nobody would care if I died and my life was worthless. I'd never find love again. I was feeling that so hardcore up until I heard this girl shedding that much tears over me, you know, and that much pain of thinking about losing me. You know, it like immediately woke me up from a dazed state. Like, wow, there's genuinely people out there that love me and care about me. What am I doing? Why am I about to legitimately hurt myself over this girl, you know, over this girl when there's so many other people out there that care about me, you know? And it finally clicked in my brain after hearing her cry, after hearing China cry that hard for me, you know? And finally I told her I wasn't going to do it. I told her I'm going to suck it up. I'm going to move on with my life. I'm going to get better. I'm going to beat this depression. And she told me she wanted to help me. And I was like, you know what? Help me then. You know, I can't beat this by myself. Help me. And after that point on, me and China got back together. And that relationship alone proved, you know, it put everything in perspective for me. It literally felt like that relationship saved my life. It put me back on the track I was going to. You know, my grades started started improving again, because at the time I was failing every class, you know. So my grades started to improve. I started to be more social, started going out again. Me and China was vibing extra hard. I didn't care about Yen that much anymore. You know, like, I felt like, you know what? It's your loss. And at the time, her and Rashid broke up, and Yen was going through her own drama. And I was like, you know what? You had a good guy. That's your loss. China picked up on that, you know, and she got a good guy now. So I did everything I could to be the man that was perfect for her, and she did everything she could to be the best girl for me, you know. And it like legitimately changed my life, you know, that to the point I haven't ever went back to that major depression. I had never felt that ever again, you know. Although after a while, you know, me and China did break up, you know. That was unfortunate, you know, but we remained friends and everything after the breakup, you know. And she stayed one of my close friends even after me and her broke up, you know. And she was one of the few people that when I felt like shit was getting bad, I depended on her. So at that point, time went on. 2009 to, you know, I started dating other girls. 2010 started dating other girls, had other girlfriends and shit, you know. Started, just like I said, just getting my life back together, putting my life back together. And I honestly thank God that she was the last one I talked to, that I kept her number even after the major argument me and her had prior, you know, where I said me and her was kind of friends, kind of wasn't. You know, I'm glad I kept her number, because in the end that proved to save my life. This girl genuinely saved my life, you know. So after that, I beat depression, you know. I thoroughly beat depression. When people tell you it will get better, it do. You just need the right people in your life. You need the right motivation. You just need, you can get better from it. Depression is not hopeless. It don't determine the ending factors of your life. You can get past it. You just have to want to. You have to have the right people. Like I said, the right people. And still to this day, I actually do thank Yen, you know. I actually do from time to time still talk to Yen. You know, you would think I would hate her for what she did to me, but genuinely, I don't hate her. I still do love her. I'm not in love with her like I was, but I still do love her because she taught me a lot about the world, you know, that I was too young to try to comprehend what real love was. I was 13, 14, and 15. I was too young to try to comprehend what she was an adult. I was still a kid, you know. So she taught me not to be naive, not to wear my heart on my sleeve. She taught me all of this, you know. It made me, I think me dating her and having that heartbreak, it taught me more for the future, that I have never made that mistake again. When people tell me they love me, I never take it at face value. I make sure you have to prove you love me first. You know, I never wear my heart on my sleeve anymore. You know, I have my guards up a little bit. You know, I have it up the adequate amount to not get hurt. You know, and she just taught me so much about life. So I really do thank Yin, because she gave me the wisdom. You know, she gave me the wisdom to not make these mistakes. I made them once, I never made them again. So for that, I genuinely thank Yin, you know, because she made me wiser. She made me the person I am today. And I definitely thank China, because China she taught me how to love. You know, I never knew what real love was until her. You know, I thought love was just, you know, I thought love was what you saw on TV, but she taught me it wasn't. It's what you genuinely feel right here. She loved me, you know, I loved her, and I appreciated everything she taught me. She gave me the will to keep on living. She gave me the will to go on, you know. So definitely thank both of those girls, you know. But anyways, I just really do want to talk to the people that think about suicide. You know, it's like I said, never go through with it. It's a permanent problem. I mean, it's a permanent solution for temporary problems. Whatever you're going through, I guarantee you, I promise, from the bottom of my heart, you will get past it. I promise. You know, because with the shit we in, I didn't think I was gonna get past it, but I did. You know, I got past it. I'm on to bigger and better things, you know. So, like I said, if you ever thinking about it, just listen to my words. Just talk to somebody about it. Don't keep it to yourself. Talk to your family about it. Talk to your friends about it. Just talk to people. And if you want to talk to me about it, I listen to people's problems. I try to help people. You know, I want to teach them what was taught to me. So if you're ever going through it and you just need somebody to talk to, even if you can't talk to your family or friends, you just need somebody you just need to talk to, and just personal message me. I will respond to you. I respond to almost everybody. So like I said, if you're having troubles and you need somebody to talk to me. You know, just talk to somebody. Get your emotions out there. But anyways, G4 Leader here, signing off. I just wanted to say thank you. I know this is a long ass video, but I just wanted to get this off my chest. You know, I wanted to share this with you guys because all of y'all subscribers and viewers that rode with me, you know, I just wanted to give y'all some insight into the real me, you know, my real personality. I just wanted to give y'all the real me, you know, not hiding behind my comedy, ranting. I just wanted to give y'all something real, you know. So I just want to thank everybody for watching. You know, like I said, if you're going through some stuff, talk to somebody about it. G4 Leader, I'm signing off. Thank you for